wrist around. No, his fingers are tiny.
Oh my god! Blasphemy!
Avert, your eyes.
Cover your eyes!
That would have been better if, like, you had hot sauce.
He's not late. He's Duplo.
And there's nothing there.
They come from that planet Duplo.
Oh my god, Sherbert! Sherbert! They kind of make a meme out of me saying that during the puppet show. And of course, Toxie's like, I'm not Sherbert! He is hilarious. Toxie kind of brought him over one time. Yes, because I kept teasing him like, Sherbert!
It's been forever since I've seen it.
Yeah, they have their own VR jet room.
Oh yeah, I totally want to show that. What is that? Italy? You know what? You're proud of it.
My dad left the boat.
I think he just left. There's not even an excuse. My man had places to be. Just wasn't home.
I'm keeping eggs. I'm gonna keep hearing things.
If it doesn't fit the backpack, we're all into this I like it.
It is HDMI 3. Is it? Yeah, it's HDMI 3 back here. HDMI over there. It's HDMI 3 on the other. Give the two screen.
Hey!
What's up?
Perfect!
Yay!
Don't look at my personal stuff. No.
Show me all the Sherbert pictures in your pretty little maid outfit.
Go JoJo on us.
Share,
Cancel. Bye.
share everything.
Distributing cards.
Fine, just keep going.
Yeah, force the social interaction.
Fine.
Yeah, hey. Sorry, you're all giving one. I apologize in advance.
It's not like I have enough of them at home.
Unconsensual. I didn't agree to anything.
I'm not special.
Sherbert!
You're part of it.
It's signed the paper.
Star,
What?
we shill after the panel, not.
We shill both.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Little baby man.
No, I'm gonna take that back. I'm just messing with you.
Everything can fit in this.
Big blue buddy butt. Sherbert.
You did it too.
Never happened. I don't know.
Anthony needs privacy.
No.
Privacy is overrated.
When the slideshow?
Yeah.
The slideshow. Now it's up here. It's playing up there.
Oh.
You get to see administrator screen. They get to see what you want them to see. We
Magic.
know that.
Wow, electricity.
It's called selective advertising.
No magic. Get it right.
Wait, what happened if I
He's a magic bunny. He doesn't know technology.
so that means
No babble.
Officially, that's technology. You distinguish people from magic.
no, no.
Fail.
So I have to turn off the slide. Well, I'll just leave it self for a minute.
Magical beasts are not
Oh,
known.
wait till the puppet show sees this.
You're not wrong.
All right, well, welcome everybody to Sherbert Tales.
Yay.
Sherbert.
I'm gonna try and fucking understand. You know when Frank say like make love to the microphone, it's like, yeah. I'm not getting that into it with you.
ASMR.
Yeah. Sherbert ASMR. What is that like? What would Sherbert ASMR be like? It's like.
You tell us. You're sure.
I'm talking softly. 10 hours, best ASMR, sleep forever.
It's gonna be like more like Animal Crossing noises. Yeah, like that.
I can see. Come on. I found a new niche for Sherbert.
This is not a panel about Sherbert ASMR.
It is now.
I just have an image of Sherbert going, here, listen to me eat ice cream.
Sherbert.
Wait,
Is that cannibalism?
no. If Sherbert eats Sherbert, then it's cannibalism. And I made that joke for one of the
It's gelato.
It's still soft brand enough. You don't
Is it incest at that point?
Oh. Yeah.
Thank you coming.
At some point, I was going to tell you that I'm Sherbert. But I figured it out.
That kind of goes without saying.
Out of character, I go by Rye or Rye Star. That's the pen name that I use for writing the manga and the anime and everything. But welcome to Sherbert Tales. And I've got stuff to tell you about. So a little bit about me, if I can do this. No. Okay, good. I think I got it. So I'll let I'll play the trailer. You can see if you don't know about Sherbert.
Aww. I'd love to have a suit like that. Ninja fun. I wish I was a sumo wrestler. Nani? Sherbert!
Again.
So yeah, that's me. Fursuiter, YouTuber, Twitch streamer, anime and manga person.
TikToker.
Ice cream.
TikTok, you know what? I brought him. Who wants to see a TikTok?
Who doesn't?
Oh no.
Okay, well, since you've seen them, I'll let you pick. There's the Dr. Sherbert or the Fantasy Epic.
Play them all.
Okay.
All of the above.
All right. Well, I also do VR, so here's some VR TikToks for you.
I'm Dr. Sherbert, MD, Today, I'm going to show you how to treat a patient. Here we have Mr. Fox, a 35-year-old male, I suspect. Let's check his chart. Oh, well, that's not good. I'm going to show you how to treat the patient, and hopefully the patient won't die. Excuse me. Patient's temperature. You guys can turn over. It's not that kind of thermometer. Warm up a little bit. Oh, turkey's done. Good news, sir. It's not lupus. It might be lupus, though. We're gonna have to operate and find out. Who's ready for operation? Yay! After the operation, we gotta wash our hands. Good scrubbing. You know, like you took some bad breath with spiders all over. Spiders! It's all thing. The spiders! Our hands are washed and are nothing but bloody stuff. Ready to wax in the air. Next, we need to anesthetize the patient. Let's just anesthetize him.
That's a-
Feel his thing. Suture, combat.
God batch.
The patient is gonna live. In or out, most of his internal organs. But hey, I've got a box of extra pieces for my kid. All the working works just fine. Now, if you'll excuse me,
Organs are just
you
optional.
call me up and just. So I gotta go.
Oh no.
See if I can raise the volume.
Not
You don't have to full blast.
Probably full
You know, it's a TV. You can raise the volume.
This is what happens when you go to discount brand instead of Walmart.
Sherbert just needs IT.
Yes, we need Mr. IT.
So did you buy this TV with Cole's cash?
Oh my god.
Did you buy it with the TV?
Progress.
It's not mine.
Alright. Here's the other TikTok, since you asked.
No, we
Nothing
demanded.
are totally not the English countryside or New Zealand. Look, a wizard! Dark clouds portend ill from the north. What does that mean? Going down to the west to the north. Wrong party. I am, so. And no, the dwarf king. I'm not a dwarf, I'm just vertically deficient. Yes, it's a real wide off to Puerto Rico. No, the other song.
Oh man. How could you miss?
Dead Dragon Sylvie! We did it! The dragon is defeated! Now 3 hours of credits!
You killed my king.
That's the.
Oh, he's a dragon, that's why.
I don't know, that world has guns and cars in it. For some reason, I'm like, okay, you gotta use this somehow.
Although, to be fair, it doesn't matter. He's a bargain woman.
Hey,
I'm kidding.
I'm fabulous.
There you go.
Slaying the dragon, not laying the dragon.
You sure about that?
Yes,
Ask Donkey about that.
No,
That's what he
listen.
does.
Listen, brownie
He
points for...
absorbs your soul, and then, you know, that's how I'm able to see for more than 3 minutes without dying.
So a little bit about Sherbert. Sherbert is a suit made by K-Line in Japan. And the story behind Sherbert, I found out about K-Line in late April of 2016.
Oh, not too long ago.
I hadn't gotten a fursuit before, and I was like kind of interested in it. But because I work in anime, so I was like kind of leaning towards the anime style. So I saw that K-Line had this thing called Showcase, which is they're pre-made designs that you can apply for. And I didn't actually apply for Sherbert. I applied for another character called Mujiushi, who's like this really like dumpy looking blue, I don't know what he is, it's kind of aquatic thing. And I got an email and they had rejected me.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
And then 24 hours later, I got the same email except, no, we're gonna give you Sherbert. And it's like, ever since I realized now that Sherbert's always been my silver medal.
Aww.
Aww.
But I
Always
can't imagine.
number
I can't
two.
imagine now doing any of this stuff with the other character. Like, I don't think I would have. I would have had the same sort of like creative energy and you know, like I'm trying to say that the personal connection with Sherbert that I have.
Happy accident.
Yeah, happy accident. I'd make a joke, but I'm not going to.
The gold you tried star.
What stopped you before?
Basically, it's the gold you tried star. You really like it.
Oh, I thought you were talking to Star. You tried Star. That's what I thought.
I try every day. I feel what I try.
I can give you my that's our best disappointment.
Let's give Star a hand.
I've been sober
Star!
for 5 days now. It sucks.
Yay, Star!
That's why you're here.
You should drink to forget that you're sober.
So, the kind of the process with Sherbert went fairly smoothly. It took them about 6 months to make him, and then they shipped him out, and I received him about 1 day before. Hey, 13, you okay? You've had a long day. You want? You can take these 2 chairs and I'll down. You're good. You're good.
Oh, thanks for reminding me.
It is Sherbert ASMR.
So yeah, I received Sherbert in the mail, like 1 day before I was leaving for MFF. And I remember I received the instructions because Sherbert is like just full of pillows. And,
Yeah,
well,
no kidding.
originally they
No
had,
wonder
like,
the
6
thighs
pillows,
look big.
and you had to put them in yourself. And I remember looking at the instructions and all the pictures, and I said, I just bought a nuclear reactor out of the IKEA catalog. Like, it was just like, okay, you put this one here, and then these 3 go on the belt, and then this and this. And, we've simplified it since then. Basically, the thighs are one giant pillow in a U shape, so it's kind of it shapes.
Won't doubt
So
it.
I debuted Sherbert at MFF 2016. How many of you have been to MFF? How many of you have been to MFF in suit? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The lighting.
Yeah.
So this was before I got used to Sherbert. I had never worn Sherbert, you know, for any length of time. I put him on only for the unboxing video. And yeah, I mean, if you look at his eyes, he's got Terminator vision. It's just like everything is red, and because the eyes are coated with plastic and cellophane, all the light reflects. So MFF is like, the lighting is spaced really weird. So you'll walk and suddenly you're blinded, and then suddenly everything goes dark. And there was one con video that Sherbert appeared in, and it's you see Sherbert running through one of the rooms, and then 5 seconds later you see my handler running after me, screaming my name.
Oh, what was who was your handler?
Back then it was Maze. I don't know if you know Maze.
Yeah,
Sounded like a cranky old lady?
No, British.
Okay, then wrong person.
Yeah.
I think I'm thinking about one of the bits you did.
Oh God, yeah. The yeah. You mean the one where we went to the what was it? The Ninja Bunny Con? Is that the one with the old lady in the hover round chasing me around?
Yeah, and you would see you run across the street and then the other person would be chasing.
She's like half my age. I put a wig on her. The old lady. I don't think she's ever gonna live that down. She's now officially the old lady forever.
The old lady.
The old lady.
The.
Yes. So yeah, MFF was a very eye-opening experience. I was immediately like, you know, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna wear this suit? And it's interesting because K-Line originally says like, oh, you should only wear these for photos. And I'm like, okay, come on. Nobody buys a fursuit that you just take photos in and then put it away.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm gonna do stuff. I'm gonna cause chaos. So,
Chaos reigns.
so the first thing we tried. Oh, there was a kind of bad incident at MFF.
Oh damn.
I tripped over a handicapped person in a wheelchair and they thought I was down.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how I was like, okay, I gotta fix this. And so the first idea I had, and I got this from Beauty the Base, was to put a closed circuit TV in the mouth and to use FPV goggles, the kinds they use for drone racing, and put that in the head. But that didn't really work because the signal was kind of staticky, and the vision was lower than my eye level, so that was disorienting, and there was lag between the feet. So it didn't work. Somehow I just got used to seeing everything in red. Like, I know it probably gives most people a headache, but like, I'm totally cool with it.
Virtual boy.
Oh wow. Yes. Are you calling me a disaster?
No, I'm saying virtual boy.
You're the virtual.
At least I'll
I'm not a virtual boy, I'm a virtual man!
Man bunny.
So yeah, so in the end, I put in a fan and just pretty much got used to the vision. It doesn't bother me, it's been like 6 years. Maybe that's why I need glasses. I don't know. But one thing I wanted to do with Sherbert is I was kind of, I was making a YouTube channel, I was making videos.
Mm-hmm.
That was all fun, but I really saw Sherbert as like something more exciting. And because of my experience in anime production, I'm like, well, what if I did something really cool for my YouTube channel? What if I made these like anime thumbers, but actually make it as anime? And so I started, it was like November of 2017, I started asking some of the studios I worked with, and finally came across a studio that was willing to do it, and the studio is Zex. I don't know if you know Jewel Pet, the anime with the cute, yeah? Woo, Jewel Pet! They do Jewel Pet, Shadowverse, Diabolic Lovers. So we started working on, we started working on the intro and outros for the YouTube channel. And as we were doing it, I realized that, this could really make a good series. So I started developing the anime series based on Sherbert. And originally, it wasn't what we know of it now as basically a magical girl series. It was essentially Digimon with murder. It was this.
Tokyo Ghoul but fluffed out.
Yeah, kinda. I mean, like it wasn't just like, oh no, a person has died. It was like, oh cool, entrails. It was like a detective, like cat and mouse game, and the creatures from Sherbert's world called Kuka, who are basically corruptions of Sherbert species. In the original premise, they had the ability to shapeshift into the last living thing they ate. So there was a lot of like you don't know if the person that, if the you know, your comrade or your friend is really one of them in disguise. And it got really brutal because it was like, they figured out that if they just eat little bits of whoever they're trying to shapeshift into, they shapeshift for a shorter amount of time, but then they can go back and eat more of. So there was like a meat locker filled with people that they would just like change into. So yeah, it was really bad. Well, it was supposed to be for Netflix.
Butcher.
It was originally for Netflix, and Netflix was like, yeah, that's cool, but you know, Sherbert's so cute, and you know, we don't think that adults would watch it, and then the kids would probably get traumatized because they think it's for kids, and it's like, yeah, okay, sure. So that was an interesting. That was interesting. The original premise, and then oh, can you go over there? Hi, I'm back here.
Bye.
Where is it?
There's two little arrows in the corner.
There we go. Okay.
Press the escape button.
So when we were pitching it around, there were a number of companies in Japan that were interested, but not as an adult series. They were interested in it as a kids series. And that's when we pivoted to Magical Girl genre. And it's actually a multiverse Magical Girl series. So there's like different versions of Earth and different versions of Sherbert. There's many Sherberts, a lot of Sherberts.
All the Sherberts.
Into the Sherbertverse.
Into the Sherbertverse.
Of like
Kinda.
multiverse.
To point it out, you got the best one right here.
Aw, thanks. Let's see. I will show you the anime trailer. This is the current version, and listen for the voices that are in it. I know you've heard them in the first trailer.
地球、我が地球、それは無数の世界の一つであるという完全に分離した世界。しかし運命が未知なる世界とつなげようとしている。ライレーシア、そこは宿敵との戦いに閉じ込められた魔法動物の世界。地球に危険が迫ったその時、一匹の勇者が現れ、みんなのヒーローになる。
この地球を守ってくれないか？心配しないで。契約はないさ。よかった。私はまだ未成年だから契約書にはサインできないの。
Someone caught the reference. No, it was Monica. Monica. Yeah. There's a.
Yeah,
it's actually a running gag where like Sherbert always says that there's no contract, but anti-Sherbert actually has a contract. That's why he's anti-Sherbert. So first Magical Girl series. You may recognize Erica's voice actress, who sings BNA. Oh, that's a lie. So she plays Nazana in BNA. And Kabe Yamaguchi is voicing Sherbert. If you know Kabe Yamaguchi, he plays Inuyasha and L in Death Note, Usopp in One Piece, Red 13 in the Final Fantasy VII remake.
he's voiced a lot. He's very well.
He's voiced a lot. Ranma, his debut was in Kiki's Delivery Service. He was Tombo. So he's been around, and we're really like thrilled that he signed on to play Sherbert. Of course, that's one less thing I have to do, right? I'm still the English voice of Sherbert. Yay! But yeah, the story behind how Kapi Yamaguchi came on board. So we were looking for a narrator for the trailer, and originally, you know, the studio was like, well, just call the agencies. And we called the agencies, and you know, people were like, well, we've got this guy here. He was man number 3 in Digimon Try, and I'm like, okay, which episode? I don't know.
Sounds right.
Like, oh, all right. Well, the studio says we're gonna go with man number 3 in Digimon Try. And then I decided to email the studio, and I said, you know, this is probably something for later on, but I think Kapi Yamaguchi would make a great Sherbert. 24 hours later, the studio comes back and says, hey, Kapi Yamaguchi wants to narrate the trailer. You want him? It's like, yes! I also want him to have my children, but that's a different story. I have the one, yes.
He has a child.
I have a child.
Oh,
Lone bundle cub. So yeah, so that's how we got Kapi Yamaguchi. The studio's been really great. We've got other voice actors involved. On the YouTube side, we have 2 guest voice actors. One of them is Kosuke Takaguchi, who plays Wolf in Super Smash Bros. Wolf Donald. He's also muscular in My Hero Academia. And we also got Yoshitsugu Matsuoka, who plays Inosuke in Demon Slayer and Kirito in Sword Art Online. So, yeah, so we're scoring all the weak points. But the thing is that, you know, as we were getting ready to you know, close all the deals on the anime, we got COVID.
yay.
Fuck COVID.
Woo! Thank you. Yes. And thanks, COVID.
Why are you thanking me?
No, that was sarcasm. You should know sarcasm if you're not a Sherbert!
No! I totally am not sarcastic.
Yeah. So, I was actually in Tokyo, March 21st of 2020, interviewing Kapi Yamaguchi for the YouTube channel. And they started closing down borders, all the flights started getting canceled, except for mine. So luckily I got out, but then I was left with a dilemma, how do I get back in, right? So we did 2 things that kind of circumvent the whole border closures and everything like that. One was we pivoted to a manga, which is going to be published next year by Ablaze. So it'll be English worldwide, so you'll be able to pick it up in bookstores and Amazon.com and everything.
Woo!
Yay! I'm excited.
Here's the trailer for the manga. It's a shoujo style manga, so it's, you know, magical girl style, and basically it's kind of gonna be telling the origins of 2 characters and their first battles together. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm excited to have the manga come out. And another thing that we did to kind of get around COVID is I have a film crew in Japan, and I actually have a stunt Sherbert. I know it sounds weird, right? But this stunt Sherbert also played Ultraman Tiga, and was a number of the stunt people who played the Power Rangers in the earlier series, the U.S. version.
The Mighty
His
Morphin.
name is Toshi Kurosawa, and he has to put pillows in to fill out the Sherbert. Not like me, I got this covered. But I went and we said like, okay, well, if you wear a Sherbert, we can go ahead and film new content in Japan, and I don't have to physically be there. So I shipped Sherbert to Tokyo, and then he got seized by customs.
No.
Yeah, they wanted to charge they're like, well, you're importing this costume, and the tariff rates for costumes is 25%, and since you put $3,000 on the insurance, we're gonna charge you some
Monsters.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, it did spawn the whole JFK clone high meme. My baby so fine, then boom. Japan customs. Right. So we were freaking out, and then the weirdest thing is that I spent a year and just about a year working as a customs broker on the Canadian border. So I actually knew the tariff codes. So I'm like, well, what if we use this tariff code and consider it an article of clothing made out of fake fur because you wear it? That has a tariff of 5%. And then if we depreciate the value of the suit because it's older, then we can knock off more money. And so they accepted that explanation. I saved like $700. I still had to pay them, which kind of sucked. I'm like, it's mine. Why are you doing this to me? Like, I'm paying to get my own suit out of prison. I mean, they took a picture of Sherbert with a customs broker right there, and he's in the box, and I was like, it's like a jail in Singapore or something.
Poor little baby man.
Sherbert's been accused of drug trafficking. Price.
With all the chaos I've seen of him on TikTok, it wouldn't surprise me if he'd end up in jail somewhere. Or Jeremiah finds Sherbert's guilty of being too late to Hollywood.
Not thick enough.
Hey, you're not wrong.
Which is it? Pick a lane. Too thick, not thick enough. What is it?
Not
The
thick
best
enough.
of times, it was the worst of times.
The Dark Ages.
It was the best of thighs. It was the worst of thighs. So yeah, so we got him out of customs with like 3 days left to go. Fitted him on Kurosawa-san, stuffed him full of pillows, and we started filming. And the first episode, so it's for a YouTube series that we put out like 4 episodes called "What Are You Doing, Sherbert?" And "What Are You Doing, Sherbert?" is basically the premise that Sherbert is fascinated with people, humans in this world, and wants to try all their jobs and cosplay as people and wear their outfits. So we did. We started with an episode where he basically trains to be a Power Ranger. So there is a whole. The first episode is him. He goes to a stunt gym and learns how to do like wire harness work and parkour and like all sorts of ridiculous stuff. All narrated by Kapi Miuchi, so that was cool. And the stunt director, who we used again in another episode, is Makoto Yokoyama, who directed like 100 episodes of Power Rangers. The stunt part of it, like not the regular, like they're sitting at a table in a burger place or whatever, just sipping drinks. So he directed all the action, and that episode culminates in a fight between Sherbert and these enemy guys who basically we didn't have elaborate costumes. They they had U.S. Marines fatigues. And I'm like, we should tape up U.S. Marines because this looks really bad. And then they have these weird masks on, so those are like the bad guys. So we did this. This is a clip from that. It turned out very well. Sherbert is fighting. And this is the voice actor who played Wolf in Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. He plays both of the bad guys.
シャーベット我らは竜地形の世界さアニメには出てない同じくオリジナルキャラクターのサントアニメには出てないよかったそうじゃなくて僕に何の用ある私は貴様の次元感をいただいて全地球の王になるのだ何サントやれる何よ
Wow.
Actually, that wasn't Kurosawa-san. If you notice, Sherbert lost a lot of weight. So there was a stunt person. She's really small, but she knew how to use the wire harness. Kurosawa-san didn't have enough experience in it. But I gotta tell you, the hardest thing about doing that video was basically watching and directing remotely, and then having them let me know that because of the wire harness that the stunt person has to wear, that they had to pop the seams on both sides of Sherbert to get the wire through. So I'm like, do we have to? And they're like, yeah. But they fixed it. They said they went to the best tailor in Japan. I'm like, I kind of doubt that. But okay, I mean, they did the job, so yeah, that was harrowing. But that episode was a lot of fun because Sherbert trying to do stunts with those thighs. It's just it's interesting.
Thighs for days.
There was an attempt. So we did that episode. We did an episode where Sherbert takes on a sumo wrestler, an actual sumo wrestler. And then we did one where he tries his hand at Japanese stand-up comedy called Manzai. Manzai is different than like American stand-up comedy. Basically, it consists of two people. One person says the wrong thing, and the other person like corrects them. So it's kind of like almost like a Laurel and Hardy kind of thing. So we did that one, and then we did the ninja episode, where Sherbert trains with the Musashi Ninja Clan, which is the only existing ninja clan to have served the Edo shogunate in the 16th century. So there's a lot of really cool like history and sort of the spiritual aspects of being a ninja, and Sherbert learns all that stuff. And then we got the fight scene, which I'll show you, which is Yoshitsugu Matsuoka's voice actor, who played Kosuke in Demon Slayer, versus Kamiyuji Sherbert. And
そして忍者シャーベットに秘密の任務実行の時が来た。 巻物を渡せ。No。貴様に巻物を渡さん。この青い化け物。返してもらうよ。おお、そうだ。回収っと。
Two stories about that one. So that scene where Sherbert cuts down the ninja and he goes flying out of the house. So originally they had a stunt map out and he flipped out onto that. I was like, oh cool, we're gonna like green screen that out. And then they're like, okay, we're gonna do it for real. Take the mat away. I was like, what? And so he actually like flipped and landed on the gravel.
That's got hurt.
And the other one was there was an outtake. I thought we filmed it because I wanted to use it so bad. There's an outtake where Sherbert's throwing the shuriken, and it accidentally, he swings back too far and embeds it in the wall. I'm like, this is $150, like, this is a 150-year-old samurai residence. I don't want to pay the security deposit on it for like the restoration of a historic building. So yeah, the ninja video is just really cool. I was really like honored to work with all these people. Yeah, so here we are making anime, manga, trying to get all those things going, and I think that brings us to the present. And with that, I would love to open it up to questions, and if you guys have any questions for me, and then afterwards, anyone wants to take photos with Sherbert, who was that? Yes.
What else would you like to do with the content you created? Like, is there any further you'd like to go with it, or where else would you like to explore? Considering he covers just about most areas of media.
Right. I know, he's even a coach. Well, thinking about it more and more, and I hate using the word like, you know, everyone's heard the word metaverse, right? And not just from the Zucker sphere. So the thing is that, in a sense, Sherbert is kind of a metaverse IP because we're streaming in VR, exploring different worlds, which fits the multiverse narrative as well. You know, we go into VR chat, we hop from world to world, and play games and stuff. So doing all those things, you know, I see that there's a lot of potential opportunity. There's a lot of, you know, even just like using Sherbert as a mascot for, like, some Japanese
Sherbert.
company might license Sherbert. That's a possibility. Or
Gotcha.
doing like VR content that goes to broadcast. You know, little interstitial where Sherbert talks about like his favorite places, even things like that. You know, where we go about beyond the reach of just being an anime series, because in this day and age, it might actually be too narrow a focus. Because there's so much, you know, like you said, Sherbert's already doing so much. But when we originally pitched the anime series, we only pitched it as an anime series. We didn't even really talk about the YouTube channel. So now that we're coming out of COVID times and the Japan border is opening up again, we're going to lean on how really the description is that the character and the concept are kind of avant-garde because we're doing so much and we're using so many different unique you know, ways of producing content that they don't normally do in broadcast in Japan. So hopefully that, you know, that gets people talking about it. But I'm really willing to do anything with Sherbert that is innovative and helps tell his story.
Two-part question. Do you have a favorite world in VR chat? And has Sherbert ever been arrested by the LPD?
Is that Sonic? Wait, that's
So the answer to the second one, no! The answer to the first one, right now, I'm kind of addicted to the Tron light cycle world. Someone actually recreated the light cycles from Tron Legacy, and you can race up to 20 people.
Oh, wow.
And every time someone dies, it plays the Wilhelm scream, which is always fun. And it's just an explosion of like pixels, or lit pixels from the movie and stuff. It's really cool. That and there's a new battle discs. So if you know battle discs, that's kind of a Tron thing. The first 3 versions of the battle discs worlds were 2-on-2 players max. The new version, R4, is 20 people max. And it has power-ups, and you can be in teams, and you can capture other people. You can also free some of your teammates if you get to them. You can free them from being trapped in the chamber that they get trapped in when they get hit. So yeah, right now those are the 2 worlds. Until people watching the stream get tired of me playing those games, then we might go back to. We do play a lot of Prison Escape too.
Oh, fun.
Which I keep calling Prison Break, which is a Fox show. Prison Escape is fun, especially like I don't play Prison Escape. I don't play games to be serious. I play games because Sherbert causes chaos.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the murder 4 days.
Oh yeah.
We were in the basement.
Oh, always in the basement, turn off the lights, grab the knife, and just like,
He's so aggressive too. Like in Prison Escape, he bolts immediately the moment he gets the chance, and you know he's out there.
That's the problem. Like every time Sherbert goes to an event in Prison Escape, people are like, "Where's Sherbert?" I know Sherbert's in this game. It's his stream. Where's Sherbert? And then you just because you can't go to the event, it makes noises when people are running through the vents, and you hear sounds.
Mm-hmm.
So I hear the guards go, "Where's Sherbert? He's in the vent." So I'll run through the vents for like 2 minutes and just make an annoyance of sound.
It makes you feel any better. I'm one of the guards that I'm like, okay, where's Miru?
Freaking Miru, so one of my mods, Miru, he's also a streamer, he speed runs Prison Escape.
Oh.
Half the time he's escaped the prison before the cells have even opened.
Wow.
It's like, they get a 1-minute head start, and then the cells open and all the prisoners can come out, and then we have to try to overpower the guards or sneak out the front gate. And Miru is always like, within the first 30 seconds, you hear, "Alert, a prisoner has opened the gate." You go straight for the door.
He used to get away with it a lot, but recently, because people have been learning the game a bit more, he has been stopped multiple times. But it doesn't change the fact he's by the gate.
Yeah. So, more questions.
So you do so much in Sherbert, and I know first week's not forever. Would you go back to K-Line to get another version, or do you have another super that you might get in Sherbert?
Well, there's an interesting story. I don't think I have it. My phone's not here.
It's over here.
Oh, we have one. I won't be able to show this up there, but there is another suit from K-Line that I brought as a I purchased this suit to basically be a backup for the YouTube channel. If Sherbert, if the anime got made, I don't know that I would retain the rights to Sherbert. And so that means that I might not be able to suit a Sherbert. So what I did, I just realized I have designed the suit. what I did was I got another character, another rabbit. I know it's an addiction. Although technically they never said Sherbert was a rabbit. I did. When I saw the design, I'm like, ooh, the baby.
Silly rabbit.
I don't know if you'll be able to see this on my phone. I can find.
Just pass around your phone.
Have my phone
Unless
number.
it's more of your deepest, darkest secret.
No. This is Razu.
Hi, Roger.
So Razu is a pink K-line bunny. She is here. She will be around at the con as well. So basically, she was supposed to take over for Sherbert in the event that the you know, I can no longer
Shoot him.
be Sherbert.
These are little baby
I know.
man.
I just wanted to see if I could get on the late internet.
No.
Okay. No. So, one thing I wanted to show you, I didn't talk about this earlier, and then I'll try to answer as many more questions as I can. The original designs for Cassius, or deceased, he is the main Kuka, he's the leader. So if you remember that image I showed you, the first version of Sherbert with all the glowing eyed creatures in the back?
Yes.
So, Cassis and the Kuka were originally these kind of like shadowy wolf, hawk, lynx hybrids. And we just recently changed the designs, and we have, this is the Kuka now. And I'm going to show you Cassis, but you know, every time I show Cassis to someone, people are like, whoa, he's kind of hot.
Ah, the internet.
Rule 34.
Yeah, it looks like a Digimon.
I have a better response. I have a better response to that.
But you can put pants on that easier.
He just looks pretty.
He did join.
Closed species.
It's not a club. Oh, species-wise.
It's closed species.
Now,
Copyright this now before he runs out the room.
No, I don't. But yeah, there's like rule sets to how we deal with the characters.
Was it two predator species for the Kuka?
No, the Kuka. So so for Sherbert species, it's one predator. So they're a mix of three animals, and so one of them can be a predator. It doesn't even have to be like a real, like Sherbert's part dragon. That's his, you know, predator.
Brother.
If you break that formula, you get the Kuka, which are essentially corruptions of the, you know, the species formula. So technically, they are outcasts of Sherbert's own species. And Sherbert species is not necessarily all bunny, deer, and dragon. There are other, I don't have the characters here, but there's like, what was it? Tiger, mouse, and koala, I think was one of them. There's two characters. They're all named after desserts, just so you know. We've got panna cotta and tiramisu. They're love. So there's also, and of course, Sherbert's brother is Gelato, the great hero. Sherbert wants to be just like when he grows up. But yeah, so the Kuka, they're named the Kuka because Kuka is basically, are you going to eat that from Japanese? They were foodies. So the original premise was they found out that humans tasted so good, they wanted to merge our universes together so that they would have an endless supply of basically people sushi. It's, you know what I'm talking about? Like, it's the person who goes like to Japan, goes like, tries sushi for the first time, goes, oh my god, I gotta bring this home so everyone can try it. And so they come home and they're like trying to make sushi for everyone needs to try it. And that was pretty much what they were doing originally, but with people. Now it's not as violent. It's basically you know, let's, now they feed off of negative emotions. So they possess a person, and then the darker their emotions are, the stronger they are, and they can forge their own weapons. Because, as you know, Sherbert has his little hammer. And when a magical creature is born, a piece of their soul is extracted and forged into a weapon. So the weapon starts off as a little baby toy, and as the creature grows and matures, it's not just physical maturity, it's also like mental and emotional maturity. Their weapon matures as well. And so Sherbert, lacking the maturity to understand what true heroism is, has Batmaru, which has one side delivering an explosion and the other side makes a squeaky sound.
Don't get those mixed up.
Oh no, he actually has this thing where he shouts switch hands when he realizes that he's holding it wrong. He'll flip the hammer with his other hand and like beat the crap out of people. So yeah, but let's see, 2 minutes?
Lightning round.
You and me.
Do you get hungry when you keep hearing your name?
No.
Let's see. Do you ever find yourself in situations where you go, what would Sherbert do?
Huh. I mean, for me, I think what Sherbert does for me is gives me a much less cynical outlook. I mean, you know, the world is bored. So, you know, in a sense, the one benefit I get from Sherbert is when I'm in character, I don't think about anything that was like anything else. Like, if the world goes to bad things, I was gonna say it, like, no Sherbert, don't
2020.
Sherbert, bad word.
Poor thing.
I know. But like when I'm streaming, I stream on a schedule, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, and then Mondays on YouTube. And no matter how bad the day is, as soon as I'm in Sherbert, like, you would not know. So in a sense, Sherbert is kind of therapeutic, like a kind of an escapism. Being a character who is always like kind of naive and loud and boisterous. So I guess in that way, yeah, definitely. Who else has a question?
Okay, so I've had a question for a while. When the other game Roadblocks, they had the UGC items. I wanted to know why and how that happened.
Why and how that happened? Very interesting story. I was asking around because I was interested in seeing how I could like put Sherbert stuff in Roblox. And I asked on Twitter, I asked an open-ended question about, does anyone know anyone who can help design something for Sherbert? And I got introduced to 2 people. One of them is Trust, 3D Trust. And the funny thing is I was talking to him, and apparently before he became a rich developer on Roblox, he basically, I guess he was a fan of Sherbert. He watched the channel when he was young. And so that partnership was really kind of just like, it was a perfect match. And so now we have blocky fake Sherbert running around with us. Any other questions? I was suspicious. I was suspicious.
I just wanted to say hi.
Hi!
But also, you want to sign my Odin plushie?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
I noticed with the naming of the weapons, there was Haku, Maru, or Mon, and Batmaru. Are there more weapons with similar names to them that you
Yeah.
help understand that?
So basically, the weapons kind of have names based on onomatopoeic sounds. So bap is boop. So like the sound that the hammer makes. Paku. So anti-Sherbert's weapon, Pakumaru, when it strikes something, it basically, it devours it. So Paku is the sound of eating.
So
Like
Sherbert
Pac-Man.
explodes and anti-Sherbert's consumed. So expand versus.
Right, and then Gelato has a sword called Bolo-Bolken. Bolo is the sound of fire, like crackling fire. And it's got multiple meanings to it. Bolken means adventure, and Ken is sword. So it's kind of like a sword that says Bolo. It's written on it in red lettering. And his special ability is Valiant Flame. So he basically just like created a circle of fire. And like torch people. Okay.
What's it like working with Japanese studios?
What's it like working with Japanese studios? I would say it's like kind of very by the book. Like everything is done a certain way, and it's not necessarily a bad. I have experienced bad studios in Japan before, and yeah, that part's not fun. But when you work with a professional studio, it's really pretty like business-like. It's not like creatively. You're not directly involved with the people who are actually doing the stuff. You're talking with the head of the studio, and then he delegates all the different jobs. So it's usually like one point man, and so you can convey creatively what you want, but it gets filtered. More questions?
So Sherbert can like hop dimensions, right?
Yes.
Can he create dimensions?
No.
Okay.
He doesn't get to create dimensions. He can screw them up though.
Why am I not surprised?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So this is an interesting question. Down the decades and such, will Sherbert be carried on hopefully by family legacy?
You mean suiting?
Yes. Or like, will it be carried down your family, future family and such?
Like the IP.
Like the IP, the rights, and even the characters.
The Sherbert estate. I honestly don't know, because the ultimate goal of making an anime is essentially assigning the rights to Sherbert. So then there's, maybe put his head in the glass case and just like enjoy it. But I don't know that anyone else in my family would wear them. I don't think my kid would wear them.
I'll do it.
I do it.
I don't like anime except for DNA and Agretzko. So I'm like, so you wouldn't watch Sherbert? No.
Oh wow!
I know, ouch.
Your
Kids won't watch your anime.
It's not too late to
I
get
don't
her
even get to
adopted.
say that though, right?
Adopt me, I'll take this.
One last question. and let's move this over.
Yes. One last question.
Was it you or Stun Sherbert that got to meet the otters?
Was it me or Stunt Sherbert that got what?
Meet the otters at the zoo?
That was me.
Oh.
And it wasn't a zoo. Unfortunately, so the thing about the Tomato Cafe is the otters there are, I have to say, like in hindsight, they don't have access to water like they should, and they feed them like cheese strips and stuff, which is like, I'm pretty sure that's not a natural diet for an otter. And then you can actually adopt them, but like most of the otters, because they're not, domestic, so they're like, the babies are trafficked. So after, in hindsight, yeah, it's a cute video and everything, but I don't think I would go back to the cafe because, that's kind of like not cool.
Yeah.
Oof. That's a depressing one to end on.
I know. You want to give me one more so it's not so depressing? God. No, I was talking to Hunt. Go for it.
Well, I think I've asked you this. I don't remember. What flavor Sherbert are you?
Blue raspberry.
Thank
Good
you.
question.
Why a hammer?
Why a hammer?
He wasn't good
As
with
in,
the
why
shovel.
not a different other weapon?
It was like the first thing that came to mind is those little squeaky hammers.
Okay, Thor.
Just when I was thinking about it, and I just really like,
A bunny Thor.
it made sense because the character was immature, and so toy hammer made sense. And there's a lot of anime characters that have like little toy hammers and stuff. I just gave it a little more oomph.
God, so you're baby Thor in this multiverse.
Yeah, I can see it. I can totally see it. All right, well.
Yay!
Okay, I won't. What happened? Right. What do you want me to do?
Put up the.
There we go.
Put up your PowerPoint and bring me that splash screen from your PowerPoint.
Managers, am I right?
Oh, I'm just an intern. I'm not a manager.
All right, is that what you want?
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you everyone for coming to Sherbert Tales. I apologize if anyone's offended by it, but I'm going to show. If you check out my Patreon, we do Sherb Crate, which is kind of a, you get like Sherbert's favorite Japanese snacks and drinks and merchandise. We've got a new shirt designed by Cinnamon Cune for summer called Suns Out, Buns Out, the Sherbert Razu in summer gear. It's really cute. And there's also Patreon meetups and VR chat where you come in and chat and stuff.
Dang it.
You get a Bun Brigade. Where? It's on my other lanyard. You get a Bun Brigade badge and behind the scenes on the anime and everything. So if you want to check it out, go for it. My cards are over here. Cleverly placed. And yeah, I'll get back in the suit and do some photos.
All right, so if y'all ever want to do photos, line up right here, down that way for me. We're gonna take photos right here.
If I was fucking